So this is one of the biggest questions that I continuously get asked, and that is, how do you make your Can-Am look new? A lot of the comments I get is, does that thing actually see any trails or riding time? Because every time we see it in a video, it looks new. So I decided I'm gonna make a video and show you guys exactly what I do to clean it up and make it look brand new again. And also, to be completely clear, this video is not sponsored by anybody. This is the stuff that I genuinely use myself. So as far as the shampoo goes, I pick up this stuff from Walmart. It is foam spray already, and that's what caught my eye. I'm actually not a huge fan of turtle wax, but as far as the price goes and to get this thing all cleaned up, to me, it's worth it. As far as my foam sprayer, I'm not using anything fancy or anything expensive. This is literally Amazon special. I think it's like $35, and it comes with this shorty trigger, which is nice. You don't have the long stick. You also have a quick disconnect right here, and it comes with like 5 or something nozzles, different angle nozzles, which is pretty decent. It is swivel, which is nice, keeps the bottle upright if I'm trying to get into a spot. I had the $100 Chemical Guys ones, and I swore to myself that I'm never gonna buy anything from Chemical Guys ever again. Most of the stuff that I used from Chemical Guys was completely watered down. To be honest, the cheap turtle wax does a better job than the Chemical Guys mud wash or whatever they have available for exactly this reason. I'm gonna spray it down with Super Clean. This is the stuff I use on pretty much everything. What I like to do is spray the wheel wells. The Super Clean definitely helps to get rid of all of the stuff that's baked on. So I spray this on and I leave it on for about a good 5 to 10 minutes. So since I go through a ton of this stuff, I like to get this. This is like a refill bottle, and I just use the same spray bottle for it. Gives you all the different mixtures that you need to use for different stuff, but honestly, I don't pay attention to any of this, and this goes on full strength. So since I sprayed it, it's been sitting for a little bit. Now what I'm gonna do is hit it with the foam, and I'm just gonna let it chill. I'm gonna soap it once, soap it twice, maybe even a third time, and just let it sit. This is the other reason why I get the super cheap stuff from Turtle Wax. It works good. As you can see, like, it foams up awesome, and you go through a ton of it. So at this point, it's been soaking for a while. This is the 15 degree nozzle that came with that gun. I'm gonna swap it out, and we're gonna blast everything off. Biggest pain in the ass to get everything washed out of all the nooks and crannies and all the mud. Look, I know some of the comments that I'm gonna get. There's a lot of hillbillies that are gonna say, what's the point of washing it if you're just gonna put it right back into mud? Well, I'm not. I'm actually gonna go out to the dunes. I primarily ride on the dunes. I don't wanna show up at the dunes looking like a If you're one of those guys that likes to have it all over, maybe this video is not for you. Well, maybe it is. Maybe you should set some new standards for yourself. As much as I wish that I was done, I still have that muddy haze on it, which I want to get rid of. I'm gonna foam it one last time and get the mitt out and scrub everything down. So typically I wash the wheels and tires first. In this case, I'm not doing that because I'm gonna wash them while they're off the car, because since I'm putting my sand tires on, I'm not too worried about that. Plus, it's gonna be a lot easier to clean and wash while not being on the car, but I'll show you what I use. I am ready to dry everything off and get everything shined up so it looks new again. Costco microfibers, they work awesome. They're super cheap. Toss them in the washer, wash them. Again, this is not like paint or black paint that you have to worry about getting swirls in it or whatever. I've tried the rag company, I've tried all sorts of different microfibers, and for paint purposes, yes, there are better options out there, but these are still awesome. while drying it, if there's places like this that get filled up with water and you can't get it out, I got myself a cheap Milwaukee blower and it works like magic. This is Pearl from CarPro, and this is honestly by far my favorite stuff to use. It's durable up to 3 months. It has UV protection. It leaves kind of a shiny slash satin finish, I want to say. You can find the stuff on Amazon and I'll put the link in the description, but this is my basically secret weapon to go to as far as making things look new. I'll pick up a whole bottle like this. I'll do a 50% solution Pearl and 50% solution of water. This stuff is diluted by water. Best part about this is it completely dries to the touch and it's not going to be sticky or greasy or whatever. This was the stuff that I used on my Sea-Doo Spark. Every time I brought it out of the water, it was discolored, gray, gross. After you wash it, spray it down with this, it dries out and it looks brand new again. This is the secret weapon. So I spray all my plastics. Once I have my first layer on, I'll wipe it down, and as you can tell, it starts looking from gray to brand new again. I actually even spray my roof, and then I'm going to do the whole interior with it. And this is the Crystal Products Untouchable Wet Tire Finish. It's cheap. It definitely helps out with crap baking onto all the plastics, A-arms, and things like that. This stuff is slightly sticky once it dries, which is not a big deal. So my powder coating has turned matte a little bit on the rear arms because the sand constantly blasting them, and I don't have the rubber guards on there, which maybe eventually I'll do. Makes the powder coat glossy again to help out with some of the finish that was worn away from the sand getting constantly blasted in there. Don't need a lot. This stuff, when it sits in the sun, it kind of spreads out nicely and it makes it look nice and clean. Last thing I do is I have Tri-Flow in a spray bottle. It's a dry lubricant, and what I like to do is basically spray down my shocks, and then I wipe off the excess, obviously. This helps out with the shafts. It also helps keep the crossover moving freely, and then any adjustments need to be done. It's going to be fairly easy to move the actual rings. So I always spray it down after washing it. It's just kind of a habit. I noticed that it also helps out with all the creaking and noises that come from the Can-Am once everything is like dried out and dusty. And this definitely kills some of that noise. So I use Super Clean All Wheel Cleaner. So I use this stuff because it's not priced atrociously like a lot of the wheel cleaners out there. It does an awesome job. It foams up, and I really just like the way it works. I use these cheap Amazon brushes. Again, I'll put links in the description. These work awesome. They're kind of like stiff in a way, so they really kind of scrub nicely. And then for the tires, I use this thing. It gets in the tire on the drill, and it cleans up very well. So really, you don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on cleaning up your machine and actually making it look decent and make it look somewhat new again, refreshed, and a lot better than it did. After all said and done, let me show you the final result. So there you guys have it. Hopefully that answers your questions of how I keep it looking new. And yes, it gets used and abused and broken. I spend a shitload of time cleaning the crap out of it so it looks clean. I hope this helps you out to keep your machine clean as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.